Yeah, man. Let's kill that bass head. Alright, let's do this. I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Bowes, and sitting across the ether web is my co-host, Matty G. Matty G, how you doing today?
Hey, not too bad, man. How about yourself?
Good. Loving life, despite everything that's still going on and all the separation, it has not been a problem. Working at home has been fantastic for me, and I can't really complain. You?
Nice. Pretty good, man. I got a couple people in my bubble. I started playing a little volleyball on the weekends there with some friends, and it's been good. Getting out a little bit more, but still respecting the rules. So
Nothing says social distancing like hitting balls at each other.
I'll social distance my balls in your mouth.
I gotta go now.
Yeah. So before we have any more of Matty, let's try to hold on to our guest today. We have another legend in the business, and this is of course in the music business. He is an amazing bass guitar player, or a bassist, if you will, and he has been part of the Los Angeles-based instrumental group The Section. Now, he has been playing since the 70s with such people as Jackson Browne and Carole King, Phil Collins, James Taylor, Toto, the Air Supply, and so many more. Like the list of bands and work that this gentleman has done is beyond pages. But before we can go on to that, let's introduce Leland Sklar. How are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous, and I am absolutely thrilled to be yakking with you characters. It sounds like it's a fun show, and it's freaking awesome. Is the show?
It is, and as long as it keeps,
Well, it's one of those things. I so despise the overuse of the word awesome, but in your case, it works perfectly.
Excellent. Well, we hope so for everybody, and we'd like to keep things entertaining, and we're really, really happy to have a guest such as yourself on the show. With the amount of things that are going on and the fact that you still continue to work. So I'm amazed you have quite a busy schedule, even with the times the way they are.
Okay. It's weird. I'm actually busier now than I was before all of this started. Because I've created so many projects for myself to do during this period that, like today, I was thinking, it was so much easier on tour. I'd work like 90 minutes a day and then just be wandering around the town. And here I'm working about 20 hours a day. It's just nuts.
Wow.
But it's important.
Yes. And such a change though. And, it's amazing that you continue to put in so much time, with everybody in their spirits. It's really nice, to see a lot of the things that you do. But before we get into that, let's jump into our today's news articles.
All right. You want me to kick it off?
Of course.
All right. Article number 1, the bionic penis. A British man who lost his penis due to a severe blood infection has had a new one grown on his left arm. According to the UK Sun, Malcolm McDonald, age 45, had suffered from a blood infection that turned his fingers, toes, and penis black. And yes, when I first read this article, I was like, he wasn't like save my fingers or toes, just the wang.
Well, I was kind of, my first inclination already is they know penises don't go there, right?
Apparently.
Okay.
The father of 2 said one day the infection caused his manhood to fall off and drop on the floor. And then enter Professor David Ralph from London's University College Hospital, who performed an arm graft procedure that could generate the man's penis in 2 years. The operation was £65,000.
Wow.
And it would help grow a penis that would help McDonald properly pee, but it wouldn't have any sexual function. it was a chance that McDonald was willing to take, who just said, yeah, let's do it without really thinking about it. As far as I was concerned, it was a miracle for these people to be able to do this. So I said I was up for anything that would give me my willy back. Doctors built the new penis complete with its own nerves, blood vessels, using skin from McDonald's left arm. Yeah. Wow. So it's been successful. This was kind of a follow-up article, and now they're just waiting to actually do the procedure to reattach. So I thought that was a crazy article, and I just had to share it.
Well, when you said it was 65,000 pounds, I was afraid that was the weight of the penis that they were putting on his arm. I was thinking, Jesus, this is an overachiever. I forgot about the monetary system.
It's not on his left arm; it is his left arm. Wow, that's. I mean,
pretty crazy.
That's amazing science. But now So for 2 years, he has to walk around with a penis on his arm?
Long sleeve.
Okay, sure. So I tried digging deeper because I couldn't figure out if they were growing it on his arm or they used his arm, like skin, to grow it in a lab or something.
Yeah.
But from what I could see is that they were growing it on his arm.
Oh.
They do that though. That with tissue expanders and stuff, they'll make like an ear out of like somebody's neck, and they'll put a tissue expander in it to stretch the skin slowly, and then they can form it.
Wow!
After it's reached a size that's necessary for whatever they're doing. But doing that kind of stuff's pretty common. I hadn't heard about it as far as genitalia, but other parts of people's bodies have been done that way. So why not?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd
be like, if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, just wait a little longer. It's still growing.
Well,
it's still.
I kind of feel like for 65,000 pounds, if they're saying that this will have no sexual function, but just to pee, like, you couldn't come up with something else that would look like a penis that would let you pee? Like, you couldn't like hollow out a graft large dildo or something that then would actually have a function? I don't know.
Just a pet cock, like a latex pet cock.
Yeah.
Those little things like you'd put on a beer keg.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could have come up with something a little bit more ingenious to say, okay,
somebody's making some dough.
Yeah. I think he jumped on board maybe too fast without thinking about, we could run some hoses and yeah, I don't know. That's, yeah.
That takes premature ejaculation to a whole other.
Right.
You could pay a big Polish guy to stand in for you when you need to take any pictures of your pants off.
That's fair. Leland, you were saying about, wear long sleeves if this thing's on your arm. I mean, does that consider itself as foreskin, or like, at least it would make a circumcision a lot easier?
Well, it certainly would. Better than a turtleneck. This just opens. I mean, you could have a whole bunch of them done and just have spares all over the place too,
right?
Just in case it wears out. I mean, for $65,000, you should at least get a baker's half dozen or something out of it.
Different patterns.
Remember the old G-Pet commercials, like penis?
Yeah, right. Just add water and they grow. Oh my goodness! Wow. Oh goodness! All right, I don't think my articles are that funny, but let me tell you, this one was actually really good. There was a so the article title on this one was "A woman is stunned when her new driver's license came back with a picture of an empty chair." So what happened was with COVID and everything, a young woman from Tennessee had to renew her license online, and she was laughing at the clerical error when she looked at her picture, and it was basically just an empty chair. And it is technically a valid driver's license. It is legally issued, but she couldn't understand why there was an empty chair. So of course she had called them, and she said, like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess you kind of need to see it, but it basically, I'm not in the photo. And of course the DMV person said, well, I'm going to have to talk to my manager and understand what's going on. So they went through all the photographs that they had taken. Cause I guess when you sit down to get your photo taken at the DMV, they actually take multiple. And what had happened is on the third shot, she'd already stood up and left. So when they went to pull her file, they just randomly pulled a photograph from her folder. And the one of the three was just the empty chair.
That's great.
So
she has to take the chair with her at all times.
Yeah, right. It's this chair. Like that's the first. My first thing was like, how do you prove this is you? I mean, technically, this is a valid driver's license. I mean, it is government issued. It's got all the proper holograms and everything on it. But if you were to get pulled over, do you have to have the chair in the car with you?
Yeah.
What a weird way for her to find out that she's Bruce Willis from The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, or Clint Eastwood in 2016 at the Republican convention talking to the empty chair, going after, which really haunted him because it's such a stupid thing to do.
Oh my
gosh,
goodness.
man.
Yeah, she was being interviewed by Clint way back then. Well, it's quite interesting. And I guess it really makes, it's obviously a DMV error that someone's going to have to be very clear and careful of in the future. But I think the funniest thing I saw was, so there's an actual photo of this online, and they have blacked out all her personal information, except for she had posted a picture on social media. So, of course, her name that belongs with that driver's license. Yeah, so it's like she uses her real name, obviously, on social media. And it's so I guess you already got a few things put together, like you kind of know what her expiry date and her height and all the other stuff things are. So someone wants to socially engineer her. That's going to be a lot.
Dude, the internet's crazy. You can put in a picture and image match somebody to their name, you know what I mean? To all their information. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was quite funny. It was interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. What else you have?
All right.
That's interesting. I don't know if it's funny. It sure is interesting.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
The next one is Kitty Drug Mule flees from high security Sri Lankan prison.
Okay.
So this kitten has a talent for escaping from prison in a way that would make El Chapo proud. Law enforcement in Sri Lanka took a cat into high security prison for smuggling illegal contraband until it reportedly fled. Dubbed the felonious feline, the cat was nabbed on Wellacata prison grounds with 1.7 grams of heroin, 2 SIM cards, and a memory chip rolled into a small plastic bag and tucked into its collar. Officers had hoped the cat would find a way to lead them back to the drug den from whence it came. As guards were attempting to feed the cat made a break. Local authorities have announced they will not seek further investigation. So he got away.
I first of all think that that's a smart idea. I think you've already put a lot of money and time into something that probably should have never happened.
Oh, dude, that's just awesome.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You gotta love Sri Lanka.
Right. I mean, why take the cat? Like, take the drugs, take the collar and all that stuff. Take the people who may have, had the cat. I mean, first, I don't even know how they came across the cat with the drugs. But, you're going to imprison a cat? That's just bizarre.
Oh, my gosh, man. I just picture the cat getting off the plane in Mexico, pair of sunglasses, he's got a couple ladies on his shoulder.
You're really taking that one far, aren't you? Oh my god!
Okay. This could go so weird. This could get so dark really fast.
Yeah. What was the? There was a movie about a cat that was recently. It was something about like how the cat was taken in by a drug lord or something, and people are trying to get it back. And
that was Key and Peele.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm just like I could see that's almost the direction this is going. Very, very weird.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
So Germany seems to be a pretty funny place lately. I've actually seen a lot of articles coming out of them, but the one that kind of stood out on this one was kind of like one of those by chance someone was at the right place at the right time, and someone was also at the wrong place at the right time. The article title on this one is a German nudist chases down laptop stealing wild boar.
What?
Yeah. So in Berlin, a German nudist had the last laugh after he'd given chase to a wild boar that had run